To the Point with Michael Williams.
Good morning. My guest this Sunday, Martin County Sheriff-elect John Budensiek. He will assume office as sheriff in January, taking command from William Snyder, his longtime mentor, who declined to seek a fourth term as sheriff and endorsed Budensiek. Sir, thank you for being part of To the Point today.
It is my pleasure. Thank you.
And congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you.
I must say the big debate here was you were unopposed, so we're like sheriff-elect or sheriff-to-be. The bottom line is it's been a lifelong service for you with Martin County Sheriff's office, and talk about the moment.
I'm blessed. You know, I ran the whole spectrum of emotions from 1201 last Friday when I was told that nobody was going to run against me. I was honored, blessed, and then I do feel that pressure that's coming my way from making sure 160, 170,000 people are taken care of.
You had talked about the fact in one article I read from TC Palm that you were thankful that it didn't turn into a fractured office. You'll see competitive races. You ran as a Republican. You were unopposed. Was it a sigh of relief? You were quoted as saying, "I'm just thankful that this wasn't one of those contentious campaigns where the sheriff's office ends up fractured," quoting you. "I'm thankful our agency didn't go through a bloodbath campaign." You'll see that sometimes in communities. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. So I grew up in the sheriff's office. I was part of Sheriff Crowder's campaigns, Sheriff Snyder's campaigns. This is not new to me, and I have seen how distracting campaigns can be within the agency, and then ultimately operational efficiency is affected by it. So I was thankful that, you know, people weren't picking sides, and this was just a smooth campaign. Actually, people said it was a boring campaign, which I hate to be that guy, but it was.
But you don't mind if it was boring. And again, you'll take office in January, Sheriff-elect. We'll talk more about your relation with your mentor, William Snyder, who declined to seek re-election. For those of you who don't know us as well across our 5 counties, one of those rare Floridians, born and raised in Martin County. Talk about that, about when you came to the sheriff's office in 1997, I believe 19 years old, and kind of your rise through the ranks.
So I started at 19 years old, like you said, lifetime resident of Martin County. I grew up under Sheriff Holt, then Sheriff Crowder was the sheriff when I was hired. At that time, we hired people directly out of the police academy. And I was hired and was the youngest employee at the Martin County Sheriff's Office for several years. With that, though, I was out trying to mitigate serious crimes as a child, basically driving a patrol car, trying to deal with grown individuals' crimes. Had to learn fast. And came into the job with just a high school diploma and a law enforcement certificate. And then, of course, I did a lot of training throughout my career, a lot of narcotics work, a lot of tactical work.
SWAT commander at one point?
I was a SWAT commander. In fact, for about 20 years, I was a part of handling every single major SWAT call in Martin County. When Sheriff Snyder came in, he had a huge push for education, not just for John Budensiek, but for the entire agency. And I did go back and get my 4-year degree in criminal justice. I went to the FBI National Academy, which had a lot of college mixed in it, a lot of great interactions. I went to the Commander's Academy for the Florida Sheriff's Association, and the list of education that I received goes on and on. So I kind of did my career backward. I came in without education. I educated myself on the streets.
And grew up on the job.
I did.
And your wife and children, long Hope Sound residents, proud of it, and been there, put roots down your entire life.
Yes, and this is all they know. All they know is their dad in and out on phone calls, dealing with this issue, that issue. They're used to it, so they don't know anything else.
I know they're proud of you. Let's talk about the growth in Martin County. You mentioned about 160,000, I think the latest numbers. You saw it as a much smaller community. As you will assume office in January, talk about priorities, either continued or new ones you have for the Martin County that you see today.
So growth is probably first and foremost, as much as I hate it because I am a Martin County local. Growth on both sides of the county has taken place, and it does affect the growth that's taking place in Martin County. So what does that look like? It looks like we have to hire more deputies. We know of projects that are coming our way, so we have to hire more deputies. With growth and with the future of the Sheriff's Office, we have to work smarter. So using technology to our advantage is huge. We're already doing some programs. We have to stay on top of that. Using AI in a positive way, I know it can be used in a negative way, is something that we're going to be doing. I'll give you an example. One thing we're doing now, we're running body cameras. In the future, we have the capability for the body camera to capture what it needs to capture and write the report for the deputies, which allows us to work faster, more efficiently, safer, so we're not distracted writing.
What is your sworn strength right now?
Right now, we're running about 320 sworn law enforcement.
Where do you see you'll need to be in 5 or 10 years with the growth in the county?
In 5 years, I am projecting we're going to be around 350. We have large projects coming our way.
You have growth, so geographically you have to get to more places. In terms of the crime-fighting challenges, what do you see right now? What do you see as those continued crime-fighting priorities that you'll continue to tackle?
We're still seeing the traveling criminal. We see it every day. We saw it yesterday.
We cover a lot of these stories. When you say traveling criminal, people will come up from Miami-Dade County. We've covered many of those, or elsewhere, and decide they want to try crime in Martin County. You all been tough on that.
We have. We're going to continue to be that way.
And you see a lot of that.
We see it every day. So that's everything from fraud to big box store thefts to organized retail thefts to stealing heavy equipment to stealing high-end cars. The list goes on and on. That's pressure that we, not just the sheriff's office, but all of South Florida gets on a daily basis. Talk
about other challenges. Fentanyl, you all have talked about the crisis at the border, the U.S.-Mexico border, and sometimes people say, well, wait, it's a crisis at the border, but the connection is that the fentanyl coming across the border has been a major concern. We've seen big busts there. Will that continue to be a big priority for you?
It has to be. We're still seeing overdoses in Martin County. We're still seeing our young people die. As recently as this week, we've had a death from fentanyl, so we have to keep pushing on that. Unfortunately, with the open border policies and the lax attitude, not in Florida, but across the country on drugs, the fentanyl overdoses are on the rise, and we have to keep pushing back on that.
What other continued or fresh priorities will you have?
The list is long. So mental illness is right at the top for me. We're working at building a mental illness facility within our sheriff's office. So we're pushing on that. Homeless, which kind of goes hand in hand with mental illness, is there for us. We're pushing back on that. Yes, we want to be thoughtful and we want to help people, but the ones that don't want to help themselves, we're trying to move them back to where they came from. So we're pushing on that. Drug addiction is a priority for me. You mentioned already the illegal immigration, both on the maritime side and the pressures from the Mexican border. IT side, staffing side, we could talk all day on priorities.
Not a day goes by when I don't hear or we don't hear a story, or as a parent, I appreciate this. My children grew up right before social media began to crest and become huge. When you were young in the Martin County Sheriff's Office, social media was still at its infancy. Now, talk about the focus there, where from the benign to the threatening, a predator who can go online and your child might get caught up with them online. At night going onto the computer. Talk about your efforts to deal with that ongoing huge challenge with social media. Does a lot of good, but a lot of threats there too. Talk about what you do and what you want to continue to do for that. I know you hear about it all the time.
Sure. So one of the things I actually was campaigning on was creating a standalone digital forensics unit. Okay. And the reason is there's so much technology on devices, cell phones, computers, and the list goes on. We've had a special victims unit which targets these predators that are out there online, but we need a unit that simply deals with extracting the information from the devices. If they can work fast, they can help solve these crimes in a faster fashion. The other part of this is what we didn't deal with was in school, the bullying that goes on daily, the threats of violence, the sexting, texting, all that is something that we have to deal with on a daily basis. It's a lift for us, and we have to keep the hammer down, pushing back on this.
You confident that you'll continue to get the support budgetarily and otherwise you'll need to make all of this, or as much as possible, happen on your watch, sir?
Yeah, that's my job, to be responsible with money. Our budget has to grow proportionally with the county's tax increase. I think we can, not tax increase, but the increased revenue coming into Martin County, and I want to stay in that gap. And it's my job to work with our commissioners to have a good relationship, which I've always done, and I'll continue to do so.
Talk about recruiting and retention. Sometimes over the years, as I've covered this community, the concern's been that Treasure Coast departments lose recruits or lose veterans to counties like Palm Beach County to the south that can pay more. What are your concerns there? What are your efforts there ongoing? And I know this doesn't start today, but what's your ongoing effort there?
We've always been in a little bit of a tricky spot because Palm Beach County is the highest paid sheriff's office in the state of Florida, and we border them. So no pushing on them, but we have to be relatively competitive with them. Right now we are, but we have to keep that pace in order to keep qualified employees. Employees are not like they were when I got hired. I got hired, you stayed the course until you retired. Now a lot of the employees we hire are not from here. They come here, they get a job. If they like it, they stay. If they don't, they job shop and go somewhere else. So it's my job to try to make Martin County the best place to work, the safest place, pay them as well as we can, and then support the guys if they do a good job as best I can.
Are you at the sworn strength you want to be at right now?
No, so we're currently running about 15 positions down right now. And that's a constant between attrition, people retiring, and then people just coming and going. We've been running between 15 and 20 positions down. And those are budgeted positions that if we had a qualified employee, we could fill today.
So that'll be a big focus as well, on a very full plate for you. I'd like in our last remaining minute and a half or two, what's top of mind for you that I've not covered? I know part of that is you've talked a lot about your mentor, William Snyder. You're picking up the baton from him come January. Because of legal technicalities involving the retirement system, you'll step away because of that, but you'll still be doing a lot of planning. Talk about your mentor, talk about what else will be top of mind for you, sir.
My mentor has been the best sheriff that I can remember in Martin County's history. Those are huge shoes to fill. He's 50-something years, 50-something plus years in the industry. He's got so much experience. Sitting under him was like drinking from a fountain every day. Filling his shoes, I feel that pressure already. It's a big lift. Moving into the future, I will be my own person. So I have to come in and establish myself, not as a chief deputy, not as a number 2 guy, but as the sheriff. He supports me holistically. One of my main things, however, is figuring out how to communicate with the entire 160,000 people in Martin County. We do it through media, we do it through social media, but as people move into Martin County, it's my job to engage with them, to get them on media, social media platforms where we can communicate. We've worked extremely well with our public, and if we continue to do so, we can really cut down on the traveling criminals that come our way, the crime trends that are taking place, and again, we've worked well, pillowcase burglaries, the list goes on and on, how successful we've been engaging with our community.
Excited for the challenge ahead?
I am excited and respectfully scared to death. So.
Sheriff-elect John Budensiek, well, your mentor said he's somebody who leads and people follow him, and if he says go through that door, they're going to do it for him. And I know you take that responsibility seriously. To you, your family, congratulations, a lifelong resident who's realizing a dream that when you started in 1997, you probably could scarcely imagine. Now, Sheriff-elect of Martin County, John Budensiek, who will officially take office in January. We appreciate you taking a few minutes for our audience here on To the Point, sir.
Thank you. The pleasure was mine.
All the best, sir. Up next, the Roundtable with Brian Crowley. Money in politics. When does the strain so many of you feel show up in our political races? If it does, next.